Emerge. Loaded. Nothing lasts forever. Right now, right here, right now. Receive my book. Let the world collide! Ready. Time to finish this. Time to test the bomb. Lush as the moon. Emerge. Right now. Loaded. For the everlasting forest. Branches. Let my name echo in song. Shower you. Emerge. Right here. Shoot on sight. A sight to behold. Emerge. Strike a pose. Let the world Right here. Emerge. Right here. Ready. Hunt them down. With one heart, we pray. Lush as the moon. Emerge.
I've spent some time playing with my favorite electro-based Quickbloom teams that I was trying to hope to try out with Lauma, and something interesting seems to have happened. I don't seem to find the Clorinde variant of these teams to be the most fun to play. Let me explain. I've been playing some more Quickbloom Lauma teams with Clorinde, Cyno, and Dori, and they're all actually pretty good. With the Cyno variant, I seem to be mainly running into ER problems, and I think the difference is that I'm used to playing with Baiju, who I've been running Favge with. Even with Fischl on the team, Cyno does seem to sometimes not be able to get his ult back for a while, which kind of makes the experience a bit scuffed. Overall though, DPS-wise, it does seem like the team is in a much better place than it used to, and if I were to play Lauma instead of Nahida, for example, I don't have to worry about multi-wave shenanigans, so that is pretty good. Overall, I do recommend anyone who is a Cyno main to really give a crack at playing him with Lauma. The team does seem to be really good. With the Clorinde variant, I don't seem to be running into any real issues, because one of the cool things about playing Quickbloom Clorinde is if I want to put Farina on the team, then normally I'd get to use something like Thundering Fury. Problem, I guess, there is that I'm kind of getting screwed over by the shorter duration on Lauma's abilities and passives. And so one way to fix that is to swap to Lauma, but if I do that, I also have a tendency to then swap through everyone else again, in which case I might as well just go back to playing Whimsy Clorinde. Also, I'm used to playing Shillidan in my Clorinde team, so not having that red shred for Clorinde does seem to make her noticeably weaker in some scenarios, and of course, my experience of Shillidan is C2 Shillidan, so being able to ult more often is also something else that I seem to be missing in a team like this. I think at the end of the day, I'm going to go back to playing Aggravate Clorinde instead, but this team does seem to function pretty well nonetheless. Then there's the Dori variant, which I've actually found myself to be quite addicted to. So before we get into that, if you like what I'm talking about, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'll be talking about more things that I've been trying out with Lauma. There's also going to be some more gameplay videos of things like Spiral Abyss and Stygian Onslaught, because those things are getting a reset very soon. So ringing that bell icon can get you notified of the latest videos and content on the channel. Also, there is also the hype function if you want to do that. That can also boost this video on the algorithm. So why does Dori feel so much more better to play? Well, because I have C1 Lauma, this team is even tankier than usual. So you may end up dying a little bit more often playing this team than I do, but that being said, Dori is a pretty good healer anyway. So you don't actually need C1 Dori for this team to be working absolutely perfectly fine as a Thundering Dori team. C6 Dori can handle the healing for fanfare stack generation as well, absolutely no problem there. Dori also doesn't have any locked-in on-field requirements for the most part, just needs enough time to do some normal attacks to get her skill cooldown lowered as well as healing the team. The Hyper Blooms from this team are also particularly effective. We're not only taking advantage of the Dendro Resonance, but we can also use Nahida's EM share since Dori is the trigger and she should usually be on field. I did do a comparison between 3 configurations of a Thundering Dori team, one using only C2 Nahida, one only using C1 Lauma, and one using both, because I was interested to see if there was a noticeable difference between using them together as opposed to just running one of them and Fischl. Now that being said though, I haven't bothered to level 90 my Fischl, she's still sitting at level 80. Apparently that means that she's at around about 80% strength thereabouts, but it was either use Fischl or my C4 going into C5 Miko, which I think would just make the comparison even more redundant for most of us watching the video. If you have a comparison that you would like to see, let me know in the comments and I can always do that as a YouTube short. There is a rumor that Dori is going to be a rate up 4-star on the Flynn's banner, and she is one of the available 4-stars on the Sumeru Chronicle banner as well, so I just want to go through what's new for building Thundering Dori. There are some weapons that should be particularly good for her if you're interested in maximizing her damage in these teams. I'm still using Bacon of the Red Seas, which seems to work perfectly fine because I'm using her skill a lot and she's on field, so she is in fact getting hit from time to time. If you somehow have 1000 Blazing Suns but no Moika, then this weapon should also be particularly good for Dori. Dori would also be one of the very small handful of characters who can use something like Talking Stick to its absolute full capacity. Otherwise, if you just want to focus on Hyper Bloom damage, well, there's Mailed Flower and Rain Slasher, those are pretty much your options. The new Nodcry craftable could work as well, but if you want to maximize its power, you would have to sacrifice Lauma's Bloom crit passive. So look, that might not be so good, especially if you don't have C2 Nahida as well. And despite there being new artifacts, I still recommend Thundering Fury. There is the new Night of the Skies Unveiling, which can be an alternative, as you will get 15% crit rate from it, but once again, I feel like it won't be that great to use, because if you want to use that extra 30%, you're going to have to sacrifice Lauma's Bloom crit passive as well. Speaking of artifacts, I haven't actually even started farming a new artifact set for Lauma, since as of recording, I only just got her to level 90. So I'm still using Deepwood on her, which is kind of made doubly redundant on the team variation with Nahida, since, you know, Nahida already has Deepwood. But the goal is to probably get her a Serenade set, especially for a team like this, so that the 60 EM that goes for the team, even though that itself kind of sounds a little bit pathetic, it might still be the best benefit for Nahida's DPS, Dori's DPS, the Hyper Blooms of course, and the Lunar Bloom hits that also get an additional buff from the Serenade set bonus of actually lunar damage increase. I do like the ER as well, as it turns out that Lauma is one of those characters whose skills generate energy over time, which is great, but that also means that sack frags, for example, hasn't been a huge boon for her energy economy. In fact, this might be the kind of team where I'd go and get my Fruit of Fulfillment and just use that again instead of sack frags, until, of course, I max out the new event weapon, which is currently available as of recording, so hopefully I get around to actually doing the event. Hopefully. That's pretty much everything I feel like I want to talk about with regards to Lauma in these Electro-based Quickbloom teams. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments below. What kind of Quickbloom team is your favorite? And are you actually having a better experience with Lauma compared to the previous options? Let me know in the comments. Otherwise, hope you guys enjoyed. If you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more Genshin Impact action, and until next time, I will see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Lush as the moon. fresh as the moon.
You asked for it.
Let my name echo in song! Receive my